Well, it seems like Slipknot are back to their old ways of releasing an album every 2 to 3 years, as their first three records kind of came out quick, and then after that, it was 4 years, 6 years, and 5 years in between records. And this is the first album they've had in 3 years since We Are Not Your Kind. This new album is titled The End So Far, and it's 12 tracks. And it definitely sees its similarities from the last album, but also has its differences. Like, you can tell what they were doing on the last record is still there, but they also tried to throw around some more different things to kind of separate it from anything else they've done. This is also the first record in a while where they're going in it with the same exact members from the previous one as the past two records they saw change in lineup, whether major, minor, whatever. This time it's the same 9 people as the previous record. So, for my least favorite tracks, we have Adderall to kick off. It was like, I don't know, I feel like it's not that it had anything to do with it being soft or anything. It just didn't fit the atmosphere of the album and what we were supposed to come to expect from it. It was just kind of like a really long intro that didn't need to be as long as it was. It could have been just like their last album, where it was more of an instrumental intro that leads you into the actual first song, but it was an entire song, and I don't know, it really made me worry about what was to come, but thankfully I would be wrong. There were 3 songs that I thought were okay, like they weren't bad, but again, these kind of felt like filler on the record. Acidic, Heirloom, and Sade, they had good moments about them, but there was really, nothing that made me go, oh yeah, these are mainstays from, these are underrated deep cuts, because to me they just sounded more bland than the other songs that we're about to talk about here, which are my favorites. The Dying song, Time to Sing, was one of the songs that I had heard before the record came out, and this was the intensity I was expecting from an opening track on a Slipknot song, yet they put it as the second track on the record, but nonetheless, great song. The Chapeltown Rag, that was the first one that came out, I think it was sometime last year, and I remember being super, super excited when hearing it. Yen is one of those ones where it's not super, super heavy to many people's liking, but I really liked it. It was catchy, I liked what they were doing with the atmosphere of it. It really reminded me a lot of something that maybe you would find on, like, All Hope Is Gone or something like that, which to some people may not be a compliment because they don't like All Hope Is Gone, but for me, All Hope Is Gone is actually one of my favorite Slipknot eras, to the fact where they decided to continue to do different things, and I think they started to make even more catchier songs around that time. Then we have Hive Mind, which, again, another great one. Warranty, Medicine for the Dead, H377, and Finale. Don't ask me why the one track is called H377. Usually when they name songs like that, it's some sort of interlude, but this album didn't have any interludes. It was just straight up 12 songs all the way through, and those songs bring a high intensity, and even the song Finale was kind of similar to the songs Acidic, Heirloom, and Sade, where they're not the heaviest thing you're going to hear on the record, but this one, to me, it finished the album on a brighter note, whereas these other songs, and even Adderall, the kickoff, didn't really do its job for me. Finale was the perfect way to finish this album. I mean, the track's called Finale, for God's sakes. It flows out of the album nicely and finishes it off to just kind of, tell you, hey, it's over now. Go rest, go listen to something else, or you can give this album a spin again. So, with Slipknot's return here in 2022, it was nice. I don't think, when it comes to this and We Are Not Your Kind, again, I feel like I had more hype for We Are Not Your Kind because it had been so long, and when I heard that Slipknot was releasing a new record this year, don't get me wrong, I was excited, but I think because we didn't have to wait as long in between albums as we have been, it was just kind of cool to see that they're back on track to just, the normal 2, 3, maybe even sometimes 4 years to make another album, which for them I would be okay with. And considering now that there's really no, at least, drama in the band where a band member's leaving or whatever, and Corey Taylor's other band, Stone Sour, is on this indefinite hiatus, it seems like we're going to be getting more Slipknot as time goes on, unless Corey decides to do another solo album, but I don't know, I don't really see that happening for a while if that does happen. So it seems like Slipknot is the first on the priority list for Corey Taylor and the others, and like I said, that could lead to a lot more consistency putting albums out than we have seen in the past, really since the late 2000s into the 2020s now. So this album here gets an 8.5 out of 10. Highly enjoyable. Even the okay tracks didn't bring the album down too much. And the one song I didn't like, you know, that just kind of brings the rating down a peg. But not too much to really make me say, oh, this album isn't worth visiting. It is. It really is worth visiting. It's Slipknot doing different things. And I would say for people who aren't big fans of metal, they might actually come to appreciate this album a little bit more just because of the different things that they do and whatnot. So yeah, that's just my take on this record. You can tell me in the comments below what did you think, and until then, stay safe out there, wear your mask, get vaccinated, and I will catch you all in the next one.